was going to host a working dinner for the invited African heads of state and government. Ethiopia plays a critical role. Of course, it hosts the African Union, but also pivotal in this conversation about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
Of course, Thulas. In fact, Ethiopia is changing its foreign policy course. They are redrafting their foreign policy under Abiy Ahmed, and their focus is a little bit much more changing.
Yeah.
The role Ethiopia has been playing in the region, that history of destabilization because of security in the region.
They're hitting us thick and fast.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, there's not much to talk about. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, the president of Brazil. What an important partner for South Africa.
What an important partner. He's currently the president of BRICS, I believe. He's the president of the COP30,
Which is happening right
they're also
now,
trying to get to an outcome document.
Yes.
I think they might be pretty much where we are here in terms of the G20 outcome document. He has also been in the bad books of President Donald Trump. He has stood firm and sought a more respectful tone from the president. Of course, former President Jair Bolsonaro, a close ally of the U.S. incumbent.
Even the greeting, look at it.
Yeah, oh no, this is a hug fest. This is a hug fest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It says a lot as well, Sherwin and Doc, I imagine, that he's busy. He's not someone who doesn't have anything to do. As you say, COP30 happening in his country as we speak, but he took the time to come out here.
Look, we place much more focus on, when you talk BRICS, we place much more focus on China, the leadership of China. But Brazil, India, coming to this summit gives South Africa that weight, gives South Africa's G20 presidency that weight that the global south is really behind.
We're looking at Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the AU Commission chairperson, also making his arrival important in the sense of having been added to the G20 as a country bloc in 2023.
Their first participation as a fully fledged member of the G20 in Africa. So certainly a great deal of importance. He was also recently at the United Nations. They have this annual UN AU Commission Secretariat bilateral at the UN. And I asked him about the absence of the United States, and he said that it was very disappointing that they would not be here, but that this was Africa's time, this was Africa's G20, and it was important to come up with a product that is going to benefit Africa. And he was talking about how we need to put our demands on the table, and some people didn't like the word demands, but I think we're at that critical juncture in terms of development that if we don't demand it, you're probably not going to get it, so you might as well. The Spanish president, prime minister, he goes by two titles, I believe.
Okay.
But let's get his...
President and prime minister.
Yeah. But preceding to this, I think around January or December, the AU Commission chair met the Sherpa, Zendango, and they were just discussing to say, before it gets busy, how do we plan around this South Africa's G20 summit to push the Africa agenda? And